More Outnumbered in just a moment, but first let's get to Jenna Lee with what's coming up in the second hour of Happening Now. Hey, Jenna.
Hi there, Sandra. Of course, tonight's the night. The last GOP debate before the Iowa caucuses right here on Fox, and we've got brand new polling for you this hour on the race in the first three early voting states, Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. Plus, Bernie Sanders going on the offense as the race continues to tighten for the Democrats. Bernie has new accusations against the Clinton camp. We'll tell you about that, and he's releasing his health records. Plus, Ethan Couch has landed back in the United States from Mexico after being at the center of an international manhunt. You will remember him. He killed 4 people in a drunk driving accident and got off because of that infamous affluenza defense. Now he'll face justice back in Texas. He just arrived within the last hour, so we'll keep you posted on that.
All right. Thanks, Jenna.
Well, a 4-day white privilege conference is on the calendar for hundreds of college kids. It's happening in April in Philadelphia. And according to Campus Reform, a number of schools are footing most or all of the nearly $400 bill to attend. Some also offer course credit. This features dozens of workshops on topics ranging from race to gender, including, quote, blackness, whiteness, and wominess? The word woman is supposedly spelled wrong to eliminate the word man within the word. There's also, quote, self-care and healing as change agents, a safe space for attendees to share the emotional burden that comes from being a social justice advocate. And then there's, quote, where are all the white people? A session on how to organize white people to promote racial justice. There's also a workshop geared toward middle school and high school kids to help them understand white privilege and how to break down systems of oppression before they go to college. All right, so Sandra, the money point on this one.
Yes, thank you.
Break it down for us, please, because I think a lot of parents are going, am I paying to send my kid to a school to go to one of these?
So first of all, if this is the first time you're hearing of this, you must be living under a rock, because this has been going on since 1999. 1,500 people attend the event every year, the website says, and you're talking about a student registration fee, $200, an additional $100 for various one-day institutes. You're talking about several $100s in fees, but hey, if you go to University of Wisconsin-Madison or University of Colorado, they're going to help you cover those costs, and actually they're going to give you 3 to 4 credit hours if you even go to it.
And what's interesting is that right now in Wisconsin, there is a big debate because Governor Scott Walker wants to cut off, or not cut off, but do some budget cuts to the University of Wisconsin's budget. And there's a big uproar about it in our state. There are people on both sides of the aisle. If you have money to subsidize this junk, you have too much money. And the other question I have, and I'm going to ask you because you're a white guy sitting at the couch.
Great observation, Rachel.
Wow. I'm outnumbered, right?
You're outnumbered. Why do white people subject themselves to this sadomasochism? Who would sign up to do this?
Well, this subject makes my head hurt, and I will try and be as brief as I can. But, you know, William F. Buckley Jr. once said, every individual is different from every other individual in every conceivable way. That's what we should be teaching our children. This identity politics, this groupism, is fundamentally antithetical to basic human freedom. It impedes our progress, and it's a barrier to communication. So I think the whole thing is nothing but junk, and therefore every dollar spent on it is a dollar not teaching some student math or science or something useful.
Paris, wasn't the goal to integrate so that we're not all different? Isn't that what...
Thank you. Thank you.
Isn't that what Martin Luther King Jr. talked about?
Absolutely, Andrea.
So why are we doing this reversal?
I'm not sure why we are so infatuated by the distraction of this.
Well, I think part of it...
the white man in my family, by the way, I love you no matter what they say. I mean, seriously, I have biracial children. This is crazy to me.
I think you're exactly right. The universities have spun off into a parallel universe. We've seen it in case after case, and I think it calls into question the fundamental role of the university in American life when they put up with this sort of thing. For goodness sakes, we're under enormous pressure. Let's educate people and not distract them.
How about removing the word man? It reminds me of that scene from Legally Blonde. I love that movie. Remember when she says we should change it from semester to ovester?
To ovester. This is really happening. When you talk about tolerance and how we get to kind of the middle together, why don't we work on civility? I mean, I can't tell you how many times people look, you know, evil toward one another. It has nothing to do with the color of their skin. They're just unpleasant. Can we get to, I mean, seriously, there's a lot of evil people walking around.
Fair point.
Can we get to civility? Can we talk to each other? Can we make eye contact, get off our devices, and speak lovingly to each other? And not see that as a sign of weakness, see it as a sign of strength.
It would be helpful if we could do it in our political campaigns. I really am worried this campaign is going to be one of the worst, exactly because people have stopped being civil.
Final word goes to the white guy.
Well, it's a real pleasure to be here, as always, and I don't really feel that outnumbered.
All right. It's nice to have a friendly watering hole right in your neighborhood, isn't it? And science shows that it actually makes folks happier. And get this, the booze has nothing to do with it. What? I don't know about that. We'll explain.